let's jump into the second game and let's see what we have in store for us. So welcome back everyone, welcome back to this best of 5 series for Group 1 in round 1 for Group 3, Division A of the Australian Open. And today we have Shark Slayer versus TheeHank. Now, as we saw in the previous game, Scandinavia matchup in which Koreans was a civilization of choice. We saw that Shark Slayer playing very aggressively and very well, I guess you could say, for want of a better term, taking that victory quite conclusively, not really leaving Hank too much of a way back, to be completely honest. And now this is Hank's home map, and he has chosen Arena, and obviously a hidden civilization pick was the choice. So both of them have gone for the same civilization of the Turks. But let's have a look at the man himself, Hank, playing down here on the western edge of the map in the red, obviously playing as the Turks. His opponent, Shark Slayer from Australia, playing in the blue toward the eastern sort of edge of the map, and he is playing as the Turks as well. Now it's quite interesting that they both decided to go for the Turks. Obviously Turks are a very strong arena civilization up there with the Mayans and Aztecs and Britons, for example. In most of the other arena matches that we've actually seen or that have been played in this tournament, they have not been mirror matchups. We've seen Mayans and Aztecs, we've seen Vikings and Aztecs, I think, from memory in the previous set of games between... Oh, goodness me, who was it? I can't actually remember off the top of my head who I was casting before. I think it was, yeah, Zane and Mr. Dodo, I'm pretty sure. We saw that going on as well. But here we have a Turk mirror matchup on Arena, and this is going to be really interesting to see how this one plays out, what each of these players decide to do. Let's have a look at Shark's map first off. Now, what he's got his main gold out toward the front of his base, and it's sort of it's in concert with his one of his stones, and also another gold. A little bit nasty for him. Obviously, this is going to be quite an important area of his economy, of his base, of his map as the game progresses into the late stages. Just owing to the fact that there is quite a cavalcade, a treasure cove, if you will, of resources out here that he has to try and defend. He does have a nice back area into which he can boom, and he does have a saving grace of an extra stone there as well. Another gold out towards the front of his base, and I'm struggling to see where his extra or where his secondary gold is, and it looks like it can't be this one. No, it's not that one at all. I think it must just be, maybe I'm blind, maybe it's a bugged map. I don't know. Anyway, let's continue on. So that's his map for the time being. Obviously backwood, nice and easy for him. His deer inside his walls. Well, I can't actually see his deer either. Oh, sorry, there's his secondary gold. There's his tertiary gold. My mistake. I'm an idiot. Now, I can't actually see his deer, which means he's not going to be able to go up on a nice population, nice 25+2 fast castle build. Oh, there's his deer. He might choose to lure them in and go for that really fast castle, as we were expecting to see. Now, as we see, if we zoom over to Hank's point of view, the red player whose home map this is, luring the deer like an absolute pro, forgetting to kill it though. There we go. Now he manages to kill it. Not sure if lag or if he just completely forgot. But let's have a look at his map. Now, right off the bat, I like his map a lot more. Main gold in the back, stone in the back, 2 berry patches as well. That's really nice for Hank. And he does have these 2 golds in this back area, as well as another stone. Oh, Hank, he is just rolling in the minerals for the time being. Of course, it's not actually going to be too difficult for Shark to want to be able to punch a hole through these trees, or even place castles, bombard cannons. Something here is going to be able to harass the crap out of this area of Hank's economy, but that's going to be late Imperial, and hopefully Hank has got a hold, a firm grip, a firm essence of map control with which he can try and negate any of that sort of aggression. He does have a secondary gold, or tertiary gold if you like, and one of his stones out to the front of his base as well. Now, relic placement, something usually very important in arena matchups, and even more so for the Turks. Obviously, the Turks have absolutely trash. It's always fun to say that. So relic placements are going to be very pivotal even in the outcome of this match. Let's have a look. We can see one relic here outside of the gate of Hank, and we can say pretty much conclusively that's going to be Hank's relic all day. Where else are we seeing relics? Well, we're seeing one inside of Shark's base, really nice for him. Another one out here just outside one of the gates of Hank. So Hank has got 2 relics under his more or less control, and we see 2 relics very close to each other, and also very close to one of the gates for Shark. So right off the bat, I would be potentially tempted to say that Shark is going to have a 3-2 relic advantage. Of course, that is if the Shark does decide to go for the relics, and I think he would be in a very nice position if he did decide to do so. Hank, on the other hand, obviously being able to lure these deer in means he's going to potentially be able to go up a lot faster than his opponent. A 25+2 fast castle is very real, very possible, and very, very common on Arena, whereas without the deer, you'd be struggling to do a 25+2 population fast castle, plus having the resources for your buildings and such. So Shark might be a little bit in the lurch there, for want of a better term, as he won't be able to click up with the supplementary food that are going to be coming from his deer. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how this one does go down. It's worth noting also, though, that Hank is actually a villager behind his opponent at this point in time. It's quite, I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's not too decisive for the time being, but it is just something to keep in mind and note as this feudal age and as this dark age rather, and the feudal age progresses through. Now, what else can we talk about? The strategies that we normally see for Turks. Well, a fast imp is very, very realistic. A very realistic possibility, very viable strategy for the Turks, owing to the fact that they do get free chemistry once they get up to the Imperial Age. It is quite a risky all-in strategy, however, because you do rely more or less on the element of surprise, for want of a better phrase. And obviously, you do need to do the damage quite quickly, or your opponent, with his stronger economy, is going to be able to take the advantage that you once held straight back off you. We can see that Shark is definitely not going to be going for that, though, as he clicks up to the feudal age, going up on 25 villas, and I would be quite interested to see whether or not he can actually pull this 25+2 villager fast castle off. He is a very, very apt and very good player, so maybe he will be able to. It looks like he could be going out. No, he's not doing anything. What is he doing? Maybe he'll start oversaturating his berries. I'm not entirely sure. Hank, on the other hand, is going to have a huge amount of food as he goes up on the regular 27 villages up to the castle age. He's going to move some villages out to stone, and that is the reason why, ladies and gentlemen, folks, he's moving himself out to stone, and he's wanting to go for a castle drop. That begs the question, though, where is he going to place his castle? Obviously, it doesn't necessarily have to be defensive. It doesn't have to be inside of his base to protect any resources, because all of his resources are sitting in the back. Maybe he wants to go a little bit aggressive. Maybe he wants to start pressuring some of Shark's walls. And if we just zoom over to Hank's point of view, turn on his fog of war, his scouting, well, he knows exactly where his opponent is, which is great. But he doesn't see any resources. Can he see that gold? He knows that Shark has 1 gold outside of his walls. But Hank's scouting, to be fair, has been has been pretty lackluster. And obviously the reason for that is that he was luring deer for quite a while as well. But Shark up to the feudal age, and here we go with a market blacksmith build being thrown down at the front of his base. And it will be interesting to see as we go from his point of view. Does he have the resources to click up? Well, he's very, very close. Obviously the Turk's getting faster gold gathering. Maybe he'll buy the extra food that he needs to be able to click up, but at the same time, he's in a really nice position, even with this minimalistic amount of farms that he has at the moment, to be able to click up to the castle age. And I eat my words. Very, very sorry, Shark, for ever doubting you. Pardon me, as he will be able to click up to the castle age very, very soon. Hank now up as well, with a market and a blacksmith to follow very soon, I can only imagine. And this also begs the question, once again, where is he going to be placing this castle of his? Now, if he's going to be going aggressive, it's I mean, a castle here would be really nice because it would zone off a little bit of this wood here from Shark, but at the same time, it's not going to be the end of the world, and also not possible to place a castle down in there. It's I'm at a loss, more or less. Maybe here in between his front resources, because any offensive castle is not really going to put any pressure on his opponent here. So I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. Only time will show. Time will show whether or not he's going to be placing his castle defensively or offensively. Both players having now clicked up to the castle age. Hank going up on 29 villages, whereas Shark having gone up with 27. And Shark making no attempt to move out to stone, but he is sending a lot of villagers, and I mean a lot of villagers, are heading out to gold now as well, owing to the fact, I mean, keeping in mind that the Turks do get faster gold gathering. His gold is going to be shooting through the roof very soon, and that gives us the first sort of hint as to what Shark is going to be doing, and I can only imagine we are going to be seeing some monasteries being dropped down, and he's going to be going out and gathering up those nutritious, delicious, well, not even nutritious or delicious, but those relics. Obviously, the 3-2 victory in terms of relics could be quite nice for him, and Shark getting a little bit annoyed with these incessant ding ding sounds, so he's going to come over and scare that scout of that scout cavalry away. And obviously, he's going to get that free light cav upgrade as well, which is not something Hank wants to engage with. And this is something that the Turks are really going to be really effective at doing. But nah, okay, he's getting out of there. Shark's like, you're not catching me. I wasn't born yesterday, mate. But let's see. Here we go. Okay, Shark is up to the castle age. One monastery being dropped down. Doesn't quite have the resources for his second monastery. Floating an absolute crap ton of gold. Could just buy the wood if he really, really needed it. So we know exactly what Shark is going for. Hank, we can see, taking 3 villages off the production, or off the, pulling them off the line here in the stone mining and moving forward with them. Going to build his castle. Now again, where is he going to build it? My prediction, let's see if it's true. I was predicting somewhere in here. The overlay hasn't told us that he's building a castle just yet, and I'm more or less correct. He's building it defensively, and maybe this is just paying tribute or paying homage to the fact that Shark played very aggressively in the last game. Maybe he is anticipating some sort of forward aggression in which this castle is going to provide a nice sort of area to be able to defend some parts of his economy. Obviously, we can see that Shark is not going for that sort of route. Instead, he's going for the one monastery play, and he's going to move out and start taking those relics as soon as he can. And there we go, Shark already gathering up a relic, and this is really, really nice for him. It's also nice for Hank that he does have his, he's got his light cav buzzing around, because what counters monks better than pretty much anything? Light cav. What do the Turks get for free? Light cav. So it's going to be really, really nice if Hank does decide to start moving out with his light cav. Maybe starting to pick off a couple of monks here and there from Shark Slayer. And now the next question is extra TCs. Are we going to be seeing any extra TCs? Well, the answer is no from both of these players. Hank is actually up on 33 villages with a 4-villager lead over his opponent. Double Bid-Axe only coming in for Shark now as well. A Siege Workshop. Are we going to be seeing some aggression? Or if we go back over to Shark's point of view, is he actually going for the fast imp? He's going for the fast imp. He's going for the fast imp, ladies and gentlemen. This is a huge, huge, huge play. He's going for the Monastery, Siege Workshop, 1 TC, power play, fast Imperial Age. Let's just wait for the extra 8 food to come in, 8 gold to come in rather. There it is, and up he goes to the Imperial Age. Huge plays from him, and all of a sudden, Hank's defensive castle not looking to be too silly of an idea at all. It's going to be interesting to see how Hank can actually defend against this pressure, and this just makes these relics so much more important for him. For Shark as well. Now we're seeing a barracks having been thrown up. Obviously, that implies that we're going to be seeing bombard cannons and hand cannons, and they're going to be pushing into Hank's base. And I'm excited to see how Hank does defend against this. As I was saying at the start, normally when you see a 1TC push into the fast Imperial strategy from the Turks, you really need to go all in. It's an all-in strategy because your opponent will be able to out-eco you. In this case, it's more or less true. Obviously, we can see down here that the villager lead is very, very heavily in favor of Hank, and he's getting out some Janissaries, and these are hugely expensive and also hugely inaccurate at long range. But the out-ecoing is not really going to happen straight away. Hank's only just getting his extra TC up now, and now Shark has the scouting information. He knows exactly what's coming. Again, from Hank, he knows, oh, I might be able to go out and get some map control with these Jannies, maybe go grab some relics. Well, it's getting a little bit late for that. 2 relics are already well under the control, for the time being at least, of Shark. And the other thing as well, these monks buzzing around on the map for Shark means that some conversions are definitely possible and definitely on the cards, but we can see a really, really aggressive play. This is going to be a fantastic game. This is going to be absolutely huge. I wonder how it's actually going to turn out. We can see Petard's coming in now for Hank. I wonder what he's thinking at the moment. He's thinking, wow, my score is looking pretty good at the moment. He's 12 villages ahead. He's going to pull that ahead as well by even more, seeing as though he does have an extra town centre up over his opponent, producing Janissaries, and the Petards are going to come in now as well. And did Shark scout the Petards? Well, Shark is not going to be able to scout anything anymore as the scout gets completely blasted, but the surprise attack, and there it is. But Shark on point. Can he get the wall off? He's got the wall off for the time being. He's got the wall off, and he's managed to keep Hank out of his base with that one clutch play. Maybe he knew what was coming because he saw the Janissaries moving with some sort of a purpose. But the free chemistry upgrade has come in, and we're seeing cavalry archers. Wow. Okay, okay, okay. That is an interesting play, and it's going to be really. I'm interested now to see how this one comes down. So we're going to have the bombard cannons coming out. Bombard cannons going to be really nice at dealing with these Janissaries. And okay, it was a misclick. I was going to say, what the hell, misclick. We can see the hand cannons coming out. That makes a lot more sense. Obviously, Turks don't exactly get the worst, not bombard cannons, the worst cavalry archers in the game. But it would have been interesting to see if Shark had have actually continued down that route, of course. Now we can see that the Janissaries are moving into the base here of of Shark and doing a lot of damage. This fast Imperial strategy so far has not really paid off in any sort of way, shape or form, as we can see that hand cannons, regular old hand cannons obviously with +1 archer armor on them, up against the Janissaries here are not really going to provide any sort of meaningful defense. The bombard cannons are really the saving grace for Shark at the moment, but he's been forced off gold for the time being, and Hank should really go back there and start harassing that gold in my opinion. But we can see that the bombard cannons are going to be the saving grace, the only thing keeping Shark in this game, as he doesn't have any extra town centres, he doesn't have any extra stone with which to build castles or anything like that, whereas our man Hank, the Kiwi boy, back up at home, he's gone up with an extra town centre, and we're going to see the bombard cannons now coming in and getting those all-important shots on these Janissaries from Hank, and slowly but surely, if Shark can just get rid of all these Janissaries inside of his base, which he's going to be able to do quite effectively very soon once he gets a decent mass up of bombard cannons, once he gets a decent amount of hand cannons out as well, then he's going to be in an okay spot to push back out with his technology advantage. Wheelbarrow coming in now for Hank, only now, but he's seeding a good amount of farms. His eco is really starting to flourish, and if Hank can just keep the pressure going, that's all Hank has to do. Nice bombard cannon shot there from Shark. Obviously 12 range against the 8 is quite hard for anyone to out micro. And using wide formation, I don't know if he's using wide formation, looked like he was using wide formation there, but anyway, all Hank has to do now is just get himself up to the Imperial Age, and he's going to be in a really nice position to be able to defend this and push back out against his opponent. But for the time being, Shark still isn't managing to plug this hole, of this, obviously with Janissaries continuing to flood through. Well, I say flood through, but it's like stutter stepping through one at a time. What's Shark doing with these cheeky villages? He's going out to grab some more gold. Fair enough, he needs some more gold. He needs to be able to take some gold, seeing as though Hank is managing to zone him off of his main one. And like I said at the beginning, this is going to be a very key aspect, a key area of the economy for Shark. And at the moment, he's not got access to it. Is the hole going to be plugged? The hole is indeed going to be plugged, but there's only 230 HP on that. A couple of Janissaries firing upon this wall piece here will be able to take that down in no short amount of time. The amount of worth that Shark is getting out of this bombard cannon, though, is monumental. He's managed to pick off maybe 4 or 5 Janissaries, and Hank realizing, hey, I kind of want to have this thing open, and we can see how quickly it goes down. But at the same time, oh no, Hank is paying attention. There is no Janissaries being lost to the bombard cannon shots. As I say that, one gets hit on the head, and paying a little, not quite enough attention to his army to be able to take that down. Now these hand cannons obviously being outranged by the Janissaries here of Hank. Not going to make it not going to make it very easy. That's half of the unit and army composition for Shark. That is pretty much useless at this point. What he needs to do is get some more bombard cannons out here and start whittling away at these Janissaries. Holy crap, that was a huge shot. A lovely attack ground, as we see Handcut now coming in for Hank. His eco is really going to start pulling ahead. We can see 68 villages to 22. The only thing, and he's got the military lead as well. And these Janissaries just keep coming in and Hank, sorry, not Hank, Shark needs to get another couple of those really, really huge bombard cannon shots to be able to pull this one back at all. His eco is looking so, so fragile. It's absolutely ridiculous. Hank selling a few resources, selling a little bit of wood. Is he anywhere near the Imperial Age? Well, he's lacking a little bit of gold, which is always amusing to see when you are the Turks, that you're lacking a little bit of gold income. But of course, he is investing quite a lot into Janissary production. If he stopped Janissary production for just a little bit, he would find that he'd be able to get up to the Imperial Age very, very quickly. But in doing that, he would have to withdraw or pretty much not reinforce his army inside of Shark's base. And at the moment, this is the best thing that Hank could be doing, is the Fast Imperial. Obviously, you need to be using your tech advantage against your opponent so that they can't get their economy advantage to overtake yours. And at the moment, Hank is doing everything right, keeping Shark locked up inside of his base. Is exactly what he needs to do at this point in time. Any more big bombard cannon shots? Well, not really, but we do have 2 bombard cannons out, and there we go. The couple of bombard cannon shots now coming in, raining hell, raining havoc upon these Janissaries from Hank, and Hank is now having to get the heck out of there as he clicks up to the Imperial Age. And to be fair, what is quite a nice time, considering he has been investing a lot of resources into this Janissary production as well. And with all the stone mining operations that he's actually inflicting upon his stone mines here, looks like he's going to be wanting to continue down that track of Janissaries as well. Siege Workshops being thrown up now for him. Oh, yep, there we go. Siege Workshops being thrown up for him. I was going to say would be very, very effective. So it looks like it's going to be a Janissary bombard cannon push versus a hand cannon and bombard cannon push. Now, obviously, in that engagement, the Janissaries are going to come out on top. They do have slightly better statistics. You can see if I zoom over and do this, then you can see that the the upgrade or the stats for the Janissaries are so much stronger. The reason that the Fast Imperial strategy does not utilize Janissaries is because you need castles for it, and you can't really sacrifice any of your economy in a Fast Imperial build to going over and building, or to going over and mining stone, and therefore building a castle. But here we go. This is the position that Shark wanted to be in once he had managed to get to the Imperial Age from his Fast Imperial build. He wanted to be able to start pushing into the economy of Hank, but Hank keeping his military production high. It's still a little bit below. Oh, that's painful to see. It's still a little bit below that of Shark, but he does have the defender's advantage. Unfortunately, he does have to contest against these bombard cannons, and Hank is going to have to start pulling out some really nice micro to be able to keep his Janissaries alive against the bombard cannons. Oh, that's so painful to see. At the moment, that's the only thing really that's keeping Hank in this, is the fact that he has these Janissaries, which is going to stop any aggression or any push coming in from the hand cannons at the very least. But the more bombard cannons that Shark brings across, the better position he is going to be in. But this is the danger of going for the Fast Imperial. It means that you, like I said, you're sort of what's the word? You're sacrificing your economy, and as we can see back at home, Shark still not up on any extra town centres, and we can see 86 villages to 28. And now that Hank is in the Imperial Age, we should be seeing bombard cannons coming out, and it looks like he might also want to be switching into the hand cannon sort of route in case his castles do get taken down, as he throws up a second castle and researches conscription as well. So the bombard cannons coming out from Hank are going to be the big saviour, because now he has even footing, he has even ground in terms of the bombard cannons, so he can start whittling away at these 12 ranged beasts that have been whittling, or that have been pounding, knocking on his doors for ever so long. And here we go. Sharkslayer also collecting another relic, which is nice, and that's one thing that we did fail to mention. There are still 2 relics out on the map. But the later this game goes in terms of gold, the better position Shark is going to find himself in terms of that passive gold income. Anyway, Elite Janissary, a hugely expensive upgrade, but Shark paying not enough attention rather to his bombard cannons, and he's going to lose all of his bombard cannons on the front inside of Shark's base. And Shark, GG, well played. There it is, a victory for the Kiwi, and that brings it to 1-1 in this best of 5 series. A hugely strong game coming in there from Hank, managing to defend. Well, he defended by being aggressive, and that's the great thing here. I'm not sure whether he was anticipating a Fast Imperial build order or strategy from his opponent, but fortune or luck may have it, he decided to go aggressive, and that's really what won him this game. He managed to keep Shark locked up inside his base, which defeated the purpose completely and utterly of a fast Imperial build order, and I don't really think there's anything left to say other than that. So Hank, well done, mate. 1-1. You're doing New Zealand proud. Not that I'm biased or anything like that, but 1-1 it is. 1-1. And let me come out of this game for the time being. Let me switch back over to the spectator overlay that we have rocking around, and I'll see you guys very, very soon for game number 3.